Hey, Voch.
What's up, Jeff?
I'm watching the Senior Bowl. Kinda. I just turned on the Senior Bowl. I'm watching Sam Howell run for a touchdown in the Senior Bowl. Looked like Jalen Petrie didn't tackle him. My Baylor safety, my sweet Baylor safety. But it's a Saturday. I don't have a lot going on, and when you don't have a lot going on, you hit the go live button and you see what Voch is doing. And so here we are talking about draft stuff. Voch is wearing glasses.
Yeah, I got the little, it's a laid back thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a laid back day for me, And I'm not gonna lie, brother Jeff. We did kind of hop on this thing and was like, all right, y'all, let's look at the Senior Bowl. But what I immediately realized is that the offensive linemen are they're overmatched here. The D-line talent is much better than the O-line talent here, and that makes quarterback play really weird. So hey, what we probably gonna do on this show is talk about some of the Senior Bowl dudes that we like. Address other little kerfuffles that's going on in draft world, the little Twitter conversations that we're having, asking questions and answering them for people in the chat and all that, and just cooling while the game is on in the background.
Yeah, maybe.
Jeff, let me ask you a question, sir.
Talk about the guys that Voch hates for no reason, stuff like that.
Yeah, we definitely gonna talk about Jermaine. Well, I don't hate Jermaine. But before we get started, though, brother Jeff, do you eat raw onions, sir?
No, I don't eat onions in any way, shape, or form. No, I don't eat onions. Except on White Castles, the little tiny burgers. Then I'll eat the onions. I don't mind the flavor of onion, but I hate the texture, so I don't eat onions.
There's this serial killer that was in my live chat that was telling me that I need to improve my palate by eating some raw onions. And then he proceeded to tell me on hoagies, hot dogs, and effing salads and sandwiches is what I need to improve my palate, to eating raw onions on. And I told that serial killer to kick rocks is what I said to him, Jeff.
Well, I want to be real clear to the people in my chat. There is no party at Jeff's. Okay.
That's a lie.
Everybody likes to think there's a party at Jeff's. There's not a party at Jeff's. Now, there is a party at Jeff's for Jeff. I did just microdose. So,
sure, but that's a party though, right?
But that's just me. It's not everybody.
Brother Jeff, let me get into just a little bit of Senior Bowl talk, man, because that's what the people came for. That's what we're here to do. What's your thoughts on Jermaine Johnson? Because I've gone through this series of Twitter fights on the internet and all that little nonsense and other little stuff that's going on and this and that and this and that. And, it's crazy that you can't be critical of a player without being a bad guy, but whatever. So my first time watching Jermaine Johnson, I probably watched like a couple of games, 2 from his Georgia and 2 from his 2021 tape from Florida State. And I was of the opinion that, okay, well, he wasn't a good ranked player because he was kind of lazy and lost. He only made those plays when they came to him. He was kind of spotty as a pass rusher, wasn't very bendy, didn't really have a plan. Didn't have
all right, guys.
Shut up. Didn't have a plan. I'm clicking buttons over here trying to pull stuff up. He didn't have a plan or a backup plan when he was rushing. And a lot of the times it looked like he just really disappeared from the film. So he'll have spotty plays and he'll have good plays, right?
Yeah, you're a hater. Yeah, you're a big time hater. Big time.
So, he comes to the Senior Bowl or whatever, and he does Senior Bowl things and he starts smoking people at the Senior Bowl. And this is where I become a villain because I tell people, last year, Ellerson Smith from Northern Iowa was smoking people at the Senior Bowl and ended up being a 4th round pick. The year before, Bradley and I smoking people at the Senior Bowl but ended up being a day 3 guy. Day 3 guys are for projects and people that have guns under their seat and slap their coaches and kidnap people. So just
you got him in the 4th round?
I have him as a late 3rd, early 4th. That's my final thing or whatever. But just because that's my grade doesn't mean that he'll be drafted there. Because he's
yeah. Same. Yeah, I agree. Like, just because I say that's where I would draft a guy does not mean it's a prediction. You can get a prediction by checking everybody's mock drafts, people who hear from people and crap like that.
Sure.
I think Jermaine Johnson will go in the 1st round, is my guess.
That is crazy.
I would love him with the Cowboys' second round pick, but you
Man.
can't have him. Is my guess. But I like him better than you do. I never watched any of his Georgia tape though. I just watched Florida State.
Mhm.
Um,
So which games did you watch from Florida? Because I watched a total of 8 games because I got obsessed with my thoughts and opinions on them. So whatever game you watched, I probably watched. What game did you see and made you like him, and what about it did you like?
I did Boston College and NC State.
It's not enough. It's not enough,
There's
Jeff. You need to
plenty.
watch
You
more
don't
games.
need 8 games to watch the same stuff over and over again. When you know the guy, you know the guy. Once you know him, you know him. And I know him.
I kind of disagree, Jeff,
I
because
got him.
I kind of disagree because I think both of those Boston College tackles are pretty bad. If you watch them versus North Carolina, both those tackles are better. They kind of shut him down that game. You watch him in Miami, he smoked the hell out of the bad right tackle, but he was terrible against the left tackle that was a little bit better.
Well, I'm not. The thing is that I'm not watching for did he get sacks or whatever. I'm just watching for who the player is, and I feel like I know who the player is. Like the Senior Bowl is going to help him because he went against some pretty decent offensive linemen and he kicked the crap out of everybody. But on tape, I didn't like him. Like the Senior Bowl was.
He's definitely.
I kind of liked him. I had him as like a second round guy, where it's like, oh, okay. The things that I can see that he has is he does a good job in the run game and pass rushing he has to win with his hands and then go. Like he's got to win the little swipe and go. And he's not super bendy. He's got power in there. He's got good athleticism. And as a defensive end, and that's your starting point, man, I think that's the second round.
I think he's a terrible run game player.
Oh, see, I don't. I do not. I disagree with you. So what's up now? Now what do we do?
You need to watch some more games because I watched.
Hell no, I don't.
I just saw him kind of be disengaged from the run game when it wasn't coming his direction. I just kind of saw him get lost a little bit. He made plays when it came his way, and other times he made plays in the run game. He kind of wasn't blocked at all. Like this, I got obsessed over my take on this, Jeff. You know what I'm saying? Even in North Carolina State, Ikem Ekwonu punched him in the chest like 3 times and he tried to avoid him a little bit. You know what I mean? Then he started to try to run around him and stuff like that. That all equals up to the same thing to me. Like he smokes the dudes that he can smoke, but when the competition gets a little better, he kind of disappears. I think dude disappears for a long stretch of time and you end up getting bored watching him, in my personal opinion.
Do you think he's going to play as an NFL rookie a decent amount?
It depends on the team that he goes to. If he goes to a team that needs rush help, then probably. But if he was to go to the Cowboys, right? I don't see him beating out a Dorrance or a Basham or a Randy or a D Law. Like he'll be competing with Chauncey, and I think Chauncey beats him because Chauncey has a role that's defined as run guy. I don't think Jermaine's that dude.
Okay. I think he's going to go in the top 50 pick. Like I think, well, and where they go obviously doesn't really matter because what you're trying to do is have the guy right. And I think I would pick him in the second round because I think he's going to contribute as a rookie and he's got enough tools that you like at an important position that I'd take him in the second round. That's where I would take him.
So let's play this hypothetically, right? Jermaine Johnson or Zion Johnson?
Zion Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson or Jordan Davis?
Jordan. Jordan Davis.
Say you didn't take a wide receiver early, and like Mechie's there, Mechie or Jermaine Johnson.
Probably Jermaine Johnson.
Interesting. Hey man, can't hate your take. You know what I'm saying? You know, if he's a mid-second to you, I know you do the work. 2 games of it. You know what I mean? But,
I don't look. Some guys I'll watch 3 or 4. Some guys I'll watch a game and a half. To me, I watch him until I go, okay, I know who he is, and that's when I'm like, all right, got him. I'm good.
And Jeff, the first time I watched him, I watched a couple games, and this was the opinion that I had. I had the same opinion on him, but I got jumped on Twitter. J Tuck, Big Game James, they all jumped on me.
See, you wasted time. Not I need to spend more time. You wasted time. You already had him. Jeff, you already had what you had.
I have what I call young man energy, and I got time.
I do not.
I got time to stay up. I got time to stay up late and fuss at people, but whatever. You got it though. You got it. And while me and you talking, I would love for the chat to tell us what y'all think about Jermaine Johnson, because I know that he's made this impact during the Senior Bowl. I know that most of the writers that we love and follow, guys that we trust, they think highly of Jermaine Johnson. So Voch doesn't. Jeff thinks he's cool. Other people think that he's great. I would love to know what y'all think. Chat box. Tell me what y'all think. Go ahead, Jeff.
So I think I'm gonna say I already forgot. Man, I've been working, Voch. I'm up to like 50 dudes. I've been working. I'm actually in this thing now. Last week I didn't feel like I was really in this thing.
Sure.
Now I feel like I'm in this thing.
But I relatively
so my guy who's like what you got with Jermaine Johnson, I'm gonna give you my guy who's like that.
Sure.
There are people who like Brandon Smith, Penn State linebacker.
Okay.
There are people who really like him. And if you haven't seen him, when you do see him, I'm gonna tell you exactly what you're gonna see.
Okay.
You are going to see a dude that is built like a really good NFL linebacker that moves really well and looks like he has never played the sport.
Yeah, them dudes.
So like for me, that goes on day 3. Because my day 3 is like first round is shit, they're first rounders. Second and third round to me is guys that I think are going to make my team and contribute and at just differing levels. And then fourth round and down is just a matter of I'm looking for traits that if I can turn this dude into a player, he can be somebody. And so in the fourth round, if you've got really good traits, you go in the fourth.
Sure.
And that's Brandon Smith, the Penn State linebacker to me, where I'm like, crap, dude, he never knows where he's going. He doesn't finish tackles. He doesn't get off blocks. He doesn't do hardly anything right except the way he looks in his pads and moves in his pads. And I'm
that's
like,
Jermaine Johnson. Jack.
No, it's not. Jermaine Johnson's got a long arm. He's got a swipe move.
I see him run down the middle.
Athlete. He's got power.
I see him bull rush people. I don't see all that shit. Or at least I don't see it consistently. But I'll write this down though. Brandon Smith, Penn State linebacker, and I'll watch him. So I think we both are around 50s, but you're all in. So you're looking at linebacker, safe, like you've seen a little bit of everything. I'm really into this guard D-line thing, and I'm watching edge soon. So I'm looking at like Ed Ingram.
I watched Ed Ingram.
Tell me, I like Ed Ingram, man. Look, so in this whole Senior Bowl thing where guys just get put on skates and just get bull rushed backwards, like Ed Ingram is one of the handful of dudes, him, Cole Strange, and one other cat that really like anchors down and stops people from moving. You know what I mean? May not be the best moving guy, but in terms of anchor dude, Ed Ingram is one of the anchor dudes that I really like. Tell us a little bit about Ed Ingram, Jeff.
Ed Ingram, LSU offensive guard number 70, 6'3", 317 pounds. And Ed Ingram is the guy that I do work off of people's lists. It's how I decide who to watch. Except with Ingram, I watched him because I'd seen him at the Senior Bowl. Ingram is somebody that everybody's rankings are wrong the other way. Ed Ingram, I don't see high up on anybody's stuff, and Ed Ingram can play.
Sure.
If you took Ed Ingram in the second round, you could do worse. I got him. He's good pulling left and right. Sure. Now, if you actually put him into space, like he just goes straight through at the second level, he'll get all leaning forward and F it up and miss somebody. Right. But he moves well enough. He delivers with authority when he's on the move. He makes pass protection look easy.
Sure.
He's got lower body torque to turn guys. He's like, I have him as if a guy is in the run game, like tight ends, I'll call some of them get in the way blockers.
Sure.
I think he's getting the way plus. Like he's better than that. He's not this overwhelming, gonna just throw you around, but he's really smooth and easy in pass pro, really aware in pass pro. Anchor's good, awareness good. That's the NFL starter day one.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
Yeah. Especially in this league where good offensive lineman is scarce and hard to find, things like that. I definitely think that. So if that's a guy that stays under the radar, you end up getting him in day 3, do a little dance. That dude's top. That dude's good enough to make some plays for your team. Now,
and this is there's a guy that I have to watch. I appreciate Mike with the super chat. There's a guy I have to watch because he's looking for defensive tackle sleepers, and he named UConn's Travis Jones, who's had a great Senior Bowl. Voch had tape on him, and I don't, so I'm gonna have to watch him. He's a 1D tackle that's going to go in the first couple of days that I haven't seen. I've seen 5 other guys, but I've not seen him yet. So I just had to lean on Voch for now.
I haven't watched him formally, but I sent you the video. But somebody in my chat said that he's 300 pounds with 10% body fat, and I just thought that was interesting.
Well, he just ran through everybody at the Senior Bowl.
Sure.
He's just been running through freaking everybody at 327. Flip
Sure.
24 into 2 or 3 day 2 picks and load up on wide receiver. No line. Captain trade down, don't have no problems with that. I love trading down. It's my favorite thing in the world.
It depends though, Jeff. Like, I think trading down works, but I don't want to move away from a stud that might be there. Like if N'Kobe Dean is there, I'm not leaving away from that dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like if somebody that you feel comfortable with, okay, I can wait a little bit, then fine, move away from that guy. Since we're on Senior Bowl, Jeff, let's just get like a little more offensive line going before we like move away from that. I'm not liking where they're placing guys. Like Senior Bowl is a place where you can put players in different little alignments and like see like where they're good at. And 3 offensive linemen in particular, I think they haven't been moved in proper places. Trevor Penning has been nothing but tackle here, and I think he'll be fantastic at guard. I think he's way too stiff and not movey enough to play tackle. But every rep that you're seeing, man, he's trying to explode and dig somebody out like he's a guard. I was mad that they didn't really put him at guard. Zion Johnson, who I know is a good football player because I've seen him on film, I don't like him at center. He hasn't done a thing at center. I think he's more of I play guard, but I can play tackle. They have him as he's playing guard, but let's see if you can play center also. I don't like Zion Johnson playing center. I would much rather have him with outside reps sometimes. And Darion Canard is another guy from Kentucky that's been losing a lot of reps because they got him at tackle when 9 times out of 10 he's probably going to be a guard.
I think Penning could play tackle. I agree with you on Canard. I don't think Canard can play tackle. Like I think Penning has enough in terms of movement as a pass protector at tackle that he can do it. And I love watching him just constantly choke slam people to the ground on the edge. It's fun to watch. I think Penning can play tackle. I'm with you on Canard for sure. I don't think he could play NFL tackle. I think good athletes are going to eat him up.
Also, too, since we talking about the NFL draft Illuminati, there's this one video of Jermaine Johnson bull rushing the shit out of Darion Canard and smoking the hell out of him. But we didn't see the other 2 plays, the plays where Canard won the 2 out of 3 sides. So I mean, hey man, y'all just please be aware of the game.
Did you just swerve across 3 lanes of traffic to hit Jermaine Johnson for no reason?
Well, Jeff driving in Dallas is just like that.
It sure is.
Your exit is 2 inches away. Cross 3 lanes to get to it. That's what it is.
Is 24 too high for Penning? This is the left tackle from Northern Iowa?
Northern Iowa. That's perfect for me. I'll take him.
You take him at 24?
I'll take him. Put him at left guard. Move on.
You put him at guard?
Yep, left guard.
I think on this team you'd have to at least at first, but I think he could play tackle.
I'm just not the biggest fan of him, moving on an island, just out on the island, just moving around or whatever. But in terms of like digging people out, being physical, being nasty, it's like put that dude next to Tyler and just live with Tyler, be cool with Tyler. You know what I'm saying? And let him and Tyron live Tyron's last days as a Cowboy or whatever. Let that dude fly.
Have you watched Jalen Tolbert, the South Alabama wide receiver?
Nope, I haven't watched receivers. I'm gonna watch all of them at one time.
What the hell? You're gonna like him. He's fun.
Sure. Wide receivers, cornerbacks, and safeties, I normally wait a little bit. I did this radio thing where they asked me about quarterbacks, where they were going to ask me about quarterbacks, so I had to try to grind some like quarterbacks or whatever. And quarterback has been interesting, but you probably haven't watched those yet.
No, I hate quarterback. No, I have not watched a single quarterback. No, I've watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I watched 7 safeties, 4 corners, 9 edge dudes, 6 receivers. I watched everything but quarterback and running back because I don't care about them. They're later.
Everything but quarterback and running back. So like all I got to do is watch like receiver and DB, and we'll basically be caught up or whatever. And linebacker, because I don't like linebacker at all. Do you have any pet cats so far?
Let me think. I've got some guys that I've seen some hating going on with, like Roger McCreary, the Auburn corner, because he got little tiny arms. He got T-Rex arms. So they're like 29.25 inches.
Sure.
But he's the stickiest cover dude in this entire class, and he played outside on the SEC without a problem for 3 years as a starter. So I like Roger McCreary. And he's going to be one of those weird ones where you can't have him. Like maybe he makes 24, but I doubt they'd pick him there because he's got little tiny arms and you can't have him in the second round, but I like him. Sure. I kind of like Christian Harris, the Alabama linebacker. I'm looking for a linebacker outside of the top two guys, Nakobe Dean and Devin Lloyd. And so I've watched a few guys, and I've watched a few guys I don't like, but Christian Harris can play a little bit. He's going to have to speed up his processor a little bit, but you want a guy that's full size, hits hard, takes on blocks, gets off blocks, can cover too. Christian Harris is a nice player. If I can have him in the second round, I don't know if I have a full-on pet cat yet. I don't know if I got one.
I got a couple late names. Have you seen Arnold Ibidiki? I call him.
I have. I got him as like a third round dude.
Sure.
I didn't love his tape. He's probably my Jermaine Johnson.
Really?
Yeah.
You letting Jermaine Johnson slide, but you don't like Arnold EBT? Come on, sir. Tell us about Arnold EBT, Joe.
I liked him at the Senior Bowl better than I liked his tape. It is. It's a spitting image of what you said about Jermaine Johnson is what I got from him. I was like, I'm kind of bored. Waiting for him to do something.
Jeff, you are so interesting, sir. You are just
a little tiny 6'2", 250, but ain't freaky athletic and not really sure what the hell he's doing rushing the passer. That's your guy?
I hate you. What about Logan Hall from Houston? Not to be confused with Logan Paul.
Logan Hall from Houston. I have him as an edge, even though he may play 3 technique. I actually have him in the second round right behind Jermaine Johnson.
You made me sick. I hate you. I can't say it. You mean to tell me? Okay, so look, let's do this again. So Jermaine Johnson or Travon Walker?
Walker.
So but you got Walker as a first round guy, right?
I got him as a cheater grade, 1-2. I'm a cheater. I got a lot of guys as 1-2s. I like to separate my real life first rounders from my I can take him in the 20s.
So I'm sure you have, guys like Linderbaum and Kenyon Green over Johnson, right?
Yeah, those are real life ones. Those are
So
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right now I have 11 real life first round grades.
So on your top 50 board, Jermaine's about a 45 or so, roughly.
Oh, I bet he's higher than that.
That's crazy, Jeff. That's
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I hadn't watched that many damn players. He's probably around 25.
We about to fight, Jeff. What are you saying?
Yeah, he's probably around 25. Yeah. Yeah.
Nakobe Dean or Jermaine Johnson?
Nakobe Dean, don't ask bad questions.
Fuck, man. I look, I don't know what to ask you. I don't know what to say about it. I don't know what to say.
Hey, you're the crazy one. Although I tell you what,
yes, sir.
If it's ever a disagreement about what you think about a player, whoever says he sucks is going to be right more often than the people who think he's good. I promise you that.
It's fair. Fair enough.
It's a safe place to go. Is that he ain't going to be that good.
What do you think about Karlaftis or Jermaine Johnson? Karlaftis, right?
Karlaftis all day.
Easy. So Jermaine, so by the time you get through film, Jermaine will be in the 30s or 40s for you. Okay, cool.
Yeah, by the time I'm done, he might be my 6th or 7th edge guy.
By the time you add to the list. Okay, cool.
Right now he's 5th.
Okay, cool. Have you watched any tight ends? People are asking me, Voch, what do you think about tight ends? Is like day 3.
I have watched 2 tight ends.
Okay.
Jeremy Ruckert at Ohio State.
Okay.
I hope that's his first name because I just put last names on the board. And Isaiah Likely from Coastal, I believe.
I've seen Likely. Yeah, Likely is the more so like wide receiver guy, not really a blocky dude.
He's real weird to me because he's either a small, not big enough to block, semi-athletic tight end, or a wide receiver who will never get open but can block. Like he's a weird in between that I don't love. So I put him on day 3.
That makes me tight end. Yep.
Ruckert, I got in the 3rd, the Ohio State guy. He just doesn't get opportunities because he's playing with Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson and Jackson Smith and Jigba. And so they just don't really throw to him. But like he looks like a real life NFL starting tight end. Like he's not a great blocker because he misses some.
Sure.
But he's strong enough and he's willing and he's capable of blocking. And he looks like your standard what you would ask an NFL tight end to do guy that is going to be a starting NFL tight end. I think you could pick Jeremy Ruckert in the 3rd round and cut Blake Jarwin if you wanted to. I think Ruckert can play.
Probably so. Besides DeMarvin Leal getting whooped by Charles Cross, Leal or Jermaine Johnson?
Marvin Leal gets whooped by everybody. I have them both as second rounders. I'd probably take Johnson over Leal.
Johnson over Leal. Cool. I'm just trying.
Leal has more. They both have upside, but like Leal for their positions relative to their positions, like he has more athletic upside. Like he has the twitch. There is power in his body. DeMarvin Leal at A&M could turn into one of those double-digit sack 3 techniques. I just struggle with it because on tape, he is so inconsistent and he gets moved in the run game and he plays up high. And which left tackle was I watching? That, I mean, it might have been Cross that never had a problem blocking DeMarvin Leal, just beat him up all day. I don't remember if it was Kwanwu, whoever played him out of the top tackles, just never even broke a sweat blocking Leal. So that hurt my heart.
It was definitely Charles
Cross.
Yeah. Just to get into just a little more offensive lineman, like Jeff, we are grooving, sir. We are grooving. Did you ever watch Daniel Falile? Cowboy fans was like bothering the hell out of me.
No, because he's like 6'10" and 400 pounds. And the Senior Bowl, he looked like he couldn't move a lick, and everybody whipped his ass. So I haven't watched him yet.
Well, see, Jeff, that's the weird thing about him. He can move a little bit to say that he's 400 pounds, but he's not powerful at all to say that he's 400 pounds.
Oh, and had a bad Senior Bowl.
Pretty much.
It's not good.
Pretty much.
Oh, look at Desmond Ridder. Sling that thing.
Desmond.
Go ahead, Wisconsin tight end, whoever you are.
Who cares?
It's a good point. No one cares.
What
All I care
about
is the practice tape?
Not comparing him to Jermaine Johnson or anything, but did you get a chance to watch Ridgeway from Arkansas?
I have not seen Ridgeway from Arkansas yet. My defensive tackles I've seen are Jordan Davis, Devontae Wyatt, DeMarvin Leal, Fedarian Mathis, and Perion Winfrey.
I need to watch Perion. I had to
watch him because he had a great Senior Bowl. I didn't like his tape at all.
Sure.
I had him as a day 3 guy. He had an awesome Senior Bowl, and I do let that influence me a little bit, especially with guys who I have like in a 4th round. So I put him up in the 3rd because I was like, okay, he's better than his tape shows, but his tape is not great.
What's the likelihood that just the Senior Bowl offensive linemen were just bad, and that made the Senior Bowl?
I think a lot of them, probably a lot of them. I think Ingram was good, Zion Johnson's good, Penning's good, but yeah, there was probably some offensive linemen that were they're getting their butts kicked.
Sure.
Probably some of that. Plus, in one-on-ones at that level, a good defensive player is going to win a lot.
Yeah,
because. Like, how often do you get to honestly rush against a tackle and he's by himself? Rarely. If you go inside, you're going to run into a guard.
Right.
Sometimes there's a tight end outside. If you go too far outside, the quarterback steps up. So it's a little bit unfair, but you like to see the guys who are supposed to be really good pass rushers win at that, and the guys who were supposed to be good at it or okay at it were. So that was good.
Okay, fair enough. I'm writing that down. Arkansas Ridgeway. And I need to watch Winfrey from Oklahoma. Chat box, is there anybody in particular that we haven't talked about that y'all may want us to talk about or anything like that? Voch hasn't watched a bunch of skinny people. Jeff watched a little bit of everybody. So y'all have anything on that?
Yeah, I got 6 receivers, 2 tight ends, 5 tackles, 4 guards, a center, 9 edges, 5 DTs, 4 linebackers, 4 corners, and 7 safeties.
You better than me, brother Jeff. You better than me, brother Jeff. I don't have that much like faith in the world to be watching just all things right now. Like Kyle Hamilton is supposed to be like top safety dude or whatever. I haven't really looked at Kyle Hamilton for real.
I have no comment on Kyle Hamilton. I hadn't watched a ton. I did 1 game just so I could put him on the board, and I'm just going to believe the whole world and put him in the 1st round. The tape I watched wasn't even a 1st round player, but I'm just going to leave that alone for now.
No.
I'm going to watch him some more.
No, Jeff, this is how I feel.
A 6'4", 220-pound dude playing safety is running around, falling down, missing tackles. You know, just like, I see a big dude that can run real fast and blitz off the edge and bat down balls, and like I see the physical gifts.
Sure,
I got to watch more games. So I'm sorry.
I think people saw him make those handful of rangy plays versus Florida State, and they like 100% assumed, he's rangy guy now. But I think the more you kind of dig into him,
he can't cover.
He's like a regular strong safety to me, and regular strong safeties typically fall in the draft. So, brother Jeff, let me ask you something. I think safeties fall. It happens every single year. If Kyle Hamilton is on the board for you at 24, what you thinking about?
I'll say I'm going to pick him, but that's just because I'm deferring to people who have finished studying him. I need to watch a lot more of him because he's one of those guys I don't feel like I got him. I feel like on a lot of plays, I was like, oh, this is supposed to be a top 5 player in the draft. And then on a couple plays, I went, oh, okay, so that's why. Like I see the things they're talking about, but I didn't see a consistently great player. So I got to keep watching.
So Jermaine Johnson or Daxton Hill?
Let me check the board. Daxton Hill.
That is interesting, sir. So
I got Daxton Hill with one of my cheater grades, my 1-2 cheater grades.
Daxton's closer to it first. That's interesting. That's interesting. And Kyle Hamilton, of course, you based on what everybody is saying that you'll have him over Jermaine, but
yeah, don't listen to me about Kyle Hamilton. I'm not done with Kyle Hamilton. I watched like 3/4 of a Notre Dame game and then went to bed because I was bored with him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll revisit Kyle Hamilton when we dig in on these safeties. Just letting everybody know the next few things I'm going to get into is the little people. So we're gonna finish up edges. You know, like there's a bunch of edges I'm watching like finish up, but right after that we're gonna get into wide receivers and cornerbacks. Go ahead with that, Super.
I'm actually having a lot of fun just bouncing around doing whatever. I'm just like I'll just randomly pick the next position, next player. Nick Benito from Dillon. I have not watched OU's Nick Benito, but I do feel like every year they got a 230 or 240 pound edge that's really good in college. I have to watch them. I did watch their weak side linebacker, and I forgot to put him on the board.
See, linebackers, unless they're really good, are really boring to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What's
Like
his name? Asa something or Osa something? He's got an interesting name. What was his first? Whatever. He's there. Oklahoma's got a weak side linebacker that can run like the wind.
Mhm.
And that's kind of who he is run like the wind and tackle people if he doesn't get blocked. And if he does get blocked, the play's over for him. So he'll probably be like a 3rd round guy for me, something like that.
Yeah.
Asamoah, that's his name. Brian Asamoah.
Asamoah. But that's really all I got for the Jeff. I ain't got nothing else. You know what I'm saying? I went on radio and called Kayvon Thibodeau a fraud. So I mean that's exciting.
I watched Thibodeau I only watched him because I was watching McKinley, their safety, and they were playing UCLA. And boy, so with watching him play one half of football, I disagree with you on him too. That man is a monster.
I think he's very raw, and I think he has ability, but I think he's a fraud, Jeff. I think both the Michigan kids are better than him. And I think I might like Karlaftis a little more.
Woo! I like hot take Voch. I like Voch bringing strong opinions. Yeah. I can't wait to watch all them edge dudes if they're better than him, because that dude I'm watching, you're right, it's tools.
Sure.
But I'm watching him just ran through him, dipped under him, ran around him. I was like, wow.
I just like it when guys are like put together better, like the actual.
You want him to be stack and shed. And,
I just like because you can only run down the middle of people so much, and when you get to the next level, you still gonna be running down the middle of people. You know what I mean? I just want to at least see you evolve. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got.
I need to tell these people there's not a party at Jeff's. I see that still being thrown out there. Not a party at Jeff's. Now there will be party at Jeff's merch at some point, but there is not party at Jeff's. No party at Jeff's.
I talk therapy with Wordman. Says Voch ain't watched enough tape to make that comment.
Tell him. Tell Voch he doesn't do the work.
2021 UCLA, Fresno State, USC, and another UCLA game from last year. I've seen plenty.
You're lying. You made that up. You just Googled who they played.
I mean, it's right there. I can fucking screen capture it. I can screen capture my cave. But look, okay, so like the way I feel, I don't gain anything by hopping on the internet saying inflammatory shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially if it's counter to what a lot of people are saying, because now people are going to be like, what are you talking about? Nobody else said that. Like I have people who do that all the time. They're like, did you see this write-up? And I'm like, no, because I don't care.
Yeah, you know,
I watched him. Why do I care what someone else thinks?
I like who I like, man. I like who I like, and at the end of the day, drafting really comes down to if you were GM, who would you pick? You know, and I'm just more partial to dudes that are more filled out, these more technical guys. Because I mean, they're not the same guy, of course, but that's like the whole Kayvon Chason argument, right? Oh, he's raw, but you know what I mean? I just fear raw, but I think some guys you can take their rawness and you can clearly translate it into something. I think David Ajabo has a lot of rawness to him, but when you watch that dude naturally, clearly just gets pass rush. He knows how to pass rush. I think that Kayvon Thibodeau just rolls into beating people that he's better than, which is cool, but you just have to make adjustments to, well, he's just better than this dude versus, he naturally gets pass rush. That's all.
And different people are going to disagree on how to value each of those things, right? Like some people would say, I want the things where it's like he's better than him. Like you give me those athletic tools and that power, and I will turn him into the player. Sure. Whereas some people are going to say, why isn't he that player yet? Yep. I'll take the guy who, because when you get to know the players, in a lot of cases, it might be, I'm taking the dude who's the better player because he worked to become that player. And I think he's going to keep doing it. And so I don't know anything about Thibodeau from a personal standpoint, but like that's something that happens like to the guys that interview these guys. It's like, okay, this guy's got an outside move, an inside move, a down the middle move, a counter to that move. Like he's worked at this. And so I think he's going to work at this. And then that guy, he's really gifted, but there's been a lot of really gifted guys. They don't get you much in the NFL.
For example, right, when we were watching Pay last year, right, Quiddy Pay, Aiden Hutchinson last year ain't the Aiden Hutchinson that he is now. Like you saw the small improvements that he made to turn into a better hands guy, to be a better rush with a playing dude. And Aiden Hutchinson is a better player now. You see what I'm saying? It's interesting because Kayvon Thibodeau been playing edge for 4 or 5 years. Like he's been this dude since coming out of high school. David Ajabo been playing edge for 38 days or some shit like that. You know what I mean? It's just that kind of thing that I just consider. Okay, you've been playing in for a long time and you're still raw. Like, why are you still raw is what I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? And nobody has to agree with me. Character I just read off in the chat or whatever. Nobody has to agree with me. It's just that my personal opinion of what I'm looking for. Kayvon Thibodeau got a lot of work to do, but he's been playing a lot of football. So I just need to know what the business is, you know?
I'm going to talk to somebody on your channel who wanted to know what makes Garrett Wilson so great at wide receiver. Garrett Wilson's currently my top wide receiver, but I'm going to also tell you this. I don't know if there is a number one wide receiver in this entire class. Like there's a lot of good players. Garrett Wilson's my top guy because I think in the NFL, at least when I'm looking for a receiver, some of the things I like the best are, do you have the explosive movements and the ability to change your tempo that helps you separate? And does that also work for you after the catch? And for him, the answer is yes to both of those. I think he's a good separator and he's good after the catch because of those same things. So he's my top wide receiver right now, but they're all just different. Like Jameson Williams is the burner. I haven't watched the USC guy yet. Traylon Burks is a power forward that you can throw screens and jump balls, and he's going to be hell after the catch. They're all very, very different. There may not be a number one wide receiver in the bunch, but there's a bunch of good receivers.
Do you remember your draft grades from last year, relatively?
I can find them.
If I asked you to compare somebody from this class to last year, would you be able to do it?
Maybe. Let me see. Here's my 2021 board. I have the board pulled up.
Jermaine Johnson or Joseph Osai?
Oh, crap. Here he goes. Osai was he was a second rounder for me. He was edge number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That about adds up, sure.
Yeah. So it'll probably be similar.
Joseph Osai got drafted real late, man. What about guys like Roche from Miami? What do you have those guys like? You know,
I had Roche 3-4 cheater grade. I had Golston at the top of the 4th.
I'm just saying.
I had Osa in the 4th.
I'm just saying it's not crazy sounding to to have guys a little further down.
You might drop. You might be right.
It ain't about being right or wrong, man. I just been attacked.
Yeah, that's tough.
Jeff.
That's tough.
So now we got to hit.
And this person who asked where I had Ardarius, that's rude because again, it's not a prediction.
Ardarius a beast.
Bro. I predicted he'd be picked on day 3. I loved him and would took him in the second round because I don't height shame. I want the good players. That undrafted free agents don't make the team. Darius did, and he suited up every Sunday.
Drake London is a poor man's Michael Pittman. Shouts out to Joe Sandberg. That's what he said. I haven't watched him yet, but see, and that's the confusing part. I didn't watch him because there's two Drakes on their team. There's Drake Jackson and Drake London. Jackson is the end.
Yeah.
London is a receiver. So I looked at Jackson thinking that I like there's no receiver named Drake, but there's two of them. They got two Drakes on their team. So that's just that. We'll cross that road whenever we get there.
I got nothing else for you, Voch.
Me neither, man. Chat, y'all got any last second questions, man? We'll give y'all to the 42-minute mark to ask a question, and we'll just see where we go.
I had one from Jericho. I apologize. What do you think of Sky Moore? I'm sorry I haven't seen him yet. I'm not that far, but he's getting towards the top of the receiver list, so I'll watch him as soon as I can, Jericho. But I love you and I appreciate the question. I'm sorry.
The Reaper just says, where did you have Russo like in the fourth round or something last year? I do agree. And
I had Russo at the top of the third, and he has been better than that. I'll give him that.
But Jeff, I don't think that we should be held accountable for that because these COVID camps, man, we didn't anticipate COVID camps being able to like really teach people how to be football players like that. You know what I'm saying? So that don't count.
Appreciate you, Dylan. You think we finally addressed safety and nose tackle in the second, third, and fourth? Safety and nose tackle. It's unfair because on February 5th, you would have to address safety. But let's see. Do they find a way to bring back Jermaine Kearse? Do they find a way to bring back Malik Hooker or KZ? Because right now, Donovan Wilson's on a stool by himself doing circles in the safety room. Well, Mukwamu, I guess, is technically in there. So at the moment, I would say yes, they would. Nose tackle, I would guess they don't. But if you want one, damn it, you made me go to my 2021 board.
Go ahead. If
you want a nose tackle, Jordan Davis, but I think you'd have to take him at 24, and he may not even make it. Wyatt's a 3 technique. Leal's a 3 technique. Darion Mathis at Bama.
I was just about to ask about him. Chat box asked me about him, but I think Bama's trying to play him at 2 positions. But I think that once he gets to the league, they're either going to make him eat peanut butter to gain weight or make him lose weight to play either.
Yeah, because he's what, like 310? So he's kind of something in between, but he plays like a really solid, consistent game, like a 1 technique. Like that dude is steady as she comes in terms of extend on a blocker, hold the point, disengage, make the tackle. He's not, maybe because they move him around, he's not great against the angle blocks. Like if you're getting blocked by a guy and then a guy from your left or right hits you, like he's out of there because he's not ready for it. But that's just something you got to learn. Mathis is a pretty good player. And I got to watch Travis Jones and I got to watch John Ridgeway. I got to watch the Arkansas and the UConn.
I think the long story short about this draft is that there's like not many stars, but there are many complementary dudes. So this is a draft where you like build a team and find your role players, you know, like those number 2 receivers, slot receivers or whatever, those nickel corners, those. You
need to find 3 good players. You got to find 3 good players
in this draft. That's what you got to do. Basically,
got to find you 3 good ones.
Jeff, are Darius Washington or Jermaine Johnson?
Leave me alone.
No, I'm serious. I'm asking this now. Like Thor Thunder God asked, but Voch asked it too. Because I got a clear answer, but
Jermaine Johnson.
Our Darius Washington is a better player than Jermaine Johnson, Jeff. Hey, that's Scoutcast, man. We love y'all. We do these impromptu, but for y'all to show as much love and support for some last minute shit like this, man, it blows me and brother Jeff away. We appreciate you, man. Follow him on Twitter, JC1053. You follow him on his YouTube, Jeff Kavanaugh. We're trying to make him full-time YouTube community guy. So
hey, don't say that out loud to people who probably already know that's what I'm doing. Don't say that. Make sure if you're on my channel, make sure you're following Voch Lombardi.
So we'll just say trying to make a part of the family. You shouldn't be watching, me, Foots, Okoye, and not watching Jeff. Like Jeff should be watching as much as we're watching.
Yeah.
Hey man, at the end of the day, bro, just be cool to people. You never know what people are going through, man. Just don't be a dick. Just be nice to somebody. You know what I'm saying? It costs you nothing to smile, wave, and be like, I'm not gonna be an asshole to you. You know what I'm saying? You might brighten somebody's day. That's all I got.
Unless they're a terrible person. Doski, Woskies, and Peasky.